Zach, thanks so much for joining me. You're a comedian, you're an influencer. What are you influencing here?
I think at the core of it, I'm trying to influence people to connect, to laugh, to find joy and positivity. I think as Jews, Israelis, we're all going through a very tough period with the war and with the hostages. And I think we feel a lot of darkness and sadness, but it's also important to find those moments of light. So I'm trying to influence people to do that.
How long have you been doing this?
So I started making reels back in 2020, but it was mainly just generic comedy stuff. I switched gears to focus on just Israeli and Jewish skits about 2023, and it's been non-stop since then.
What is it about your work that you find important for you, not for the viewers, for you specifically?
Well, firstly, I get immense joy out of doing it. I work harder on this than anything else I've ever done. I'm really part of something. Yes, we're fighting a war on the battlefield, but I really feel like there is a bigger picture, you know, with misinformation, with anti-Semitism, and I feel like through my humor, I'm able to make Jews feel represented, bring joy, make us feel like more of a community, and that makes me feel like I'm playing a significant role, and to me, that's priceless. So.
Right, of course, there's absolutely a war on the battlefield, a war politically, and a war of images, and a war on social media. That it's just out of control what's happening on social media. And I think I agree that it's important to have different kinds of voices there. How have you experienced negative feedback, or how have you experienced putting yourself out there on social media, where there's so much hate?
There is so much hate. I certainly, if you want to read through some of my comments, you'll be pretty shocked, or sadly, you might not be shocked, because you can imagine what's on there. The way I deal with it, I tend to I don't engage. I always say that if they're commenting negativity on my page, then it's blowing up my videos more. So actually, it's a good thing, so shame on them. But I like to turn it on its head. If someone takes a negative comment to me, I use it to make another funny video for the Jewish people. So.
All right, so you're kind of fueled by whatever comments you get, whatever response you get. How about on a personal level? I mean, for your work, it fuels you, but what about personally? I know myself, there's been, the Gaza war has been sort of in the focus on social media for so many people around the world, people who have no connection to what's happening even. How has that been for you?
I mean, for me, I felt the same overwhelming emotion that I think a lot of Jewish people have felt. I went to visit the south, I went to Kfar Aza, I went to Nir Oz in December, just after the war started, and I was numb for weeks. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I compared it to going to a Holocaust museum 2 months after the Holocaust. It was really raw. But to be honest, that feeling has brought me closer to Judaism and closer to Israel than I've ever been in my whole life, both religiously and spiritually. So that effect of sadness has just brought this whole new lease of life out of me, and I feel like it's propelled me into something else more important and given me purpose. So whilst immensely sad, also I think I've been able to bring some positivity out of it. So
a little bit of light in a very dark time.
For sure.
Zach, thank you so much for joining us, and keep up the good work. And I'll see you online, I guess.
Barol.
Barol.